Hey everyone, I'm Brian with Aromacup.com. Thanks as always for joining me here in my virtual coffee shop brought to you by Aromacup.com. In today's video, I'm going to give you a side-by-side comparison between two coffee machines that you might not expect to see a comparison between, but that's what we do here at Aromacup.com, is throw you a curveball. What I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the Keurig B70 single-serve brewer to the My French Press by Cafeo. The My French Press is a totally non-mechanical way of making K-Cups in your own at-home coffee shop. And of course, the Keurig B70 is sort of the Cadillac of Keurig machines, allowing you to make coffee, teas, and many other different beverages using just the one machine. So I'm going to show you the differences between the two and brew some coffee with each one, and then we'll just talk about the pluses and minuses between each of these two at-home brewing options. So let's dive right in and talk about them. So right here I have the My French Press by Cafeo, and this is, as I say, a completely non-mechanical, there's no electricity used here except to heat up your water, of course, to make your coffee. And so this machine is a pretty cool way of making a K-Cup, and I'm going to show you guys how it's done in just a second here. Let's talk real quickly about the B70 because it's a machine we've talked about plenty of times in the past, definitely a crowd favorite. The B70 is a really easy way to be able to brew a K-Cup by making use of the proprietary K-Cup technology that Keurig brought to us. Now, I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to brew a cup of coffee using the B70 because it's real easy to do. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the brew station right here. I'm going to add a tumbler, and I'm going to use an extra bold K-Cup. Now, I'm going to be using the same K-Cup between both of these machines just so you can see the coffee that comes out of each one. Now, I'll place my K-Cup into the B70, and I'll go ahead and close it up and start brewing. Now, of course, with the B70, there's a water tank right there. That water tank is going to keep water hot and ready for brewing. All you need to do is choose your cup size and start brewing, and you have a cup of coffee. Now, things are a little bit different here with the My French Press, but there's a lot of cool ways that you can make beverages using this. It can, as I say, do K-Cups, and very easy to do. I'm going to take the same K-Cup that I'm using here, an extra bold K-Cup, and I'm going to place that into this adapter. The My French Press has a few different adapters for it. These different adapters are going to allow you to brew different coffee types using the My French Press. One of these, of course, is for brewing K-Cups. The other one is for brewing coffee pods, and that's going to let you brew a coffee filter pod, of course, if you're using like a Senseo pod, something like that. And then you have an option for brewing your own ground coffee. Now, the B70 also has an option for brewing your own ground coffee. There's many different options. One of them that's my favorite here is the Echo Brew. I have a stainless steel Echo Brew. You can use that for brewing your own ground coffee. My cup of coffee is all done over here on the B70, and that was pretty quick and easy. So that's something you get with the B70 and any Keurig machine, fast and easy. A little more involved here with the My French Press, and I'll show you how it's done. Again, I'm going to use the K-Cup adapter. I'm going to take a K-Cup, place it into this adapter, and press it down in order to puncture it. There's a needle in here that punctures that, just like there is in the B70. Now, I'm going to take that and I'm going to attach it to the bottom of this water cylinder right here. Take that water cylinder and place that on top of the receiving pitcher. Now I'm ready to start brewing. Now, what Cafeo says you should do is take this blue plunger and pitcher, put some water in this, you can measure it using the hash marks right here, and then put this in the microwave to heat up your water. Now, you don't have to do that because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a hot water pitcher right here, and I'm just going to measure out my water. Do about 16 ounces. Roughly about the same of what I just did from the Keurig machine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pour this into the water container. And now you'll see a little bit of coffee coming out, but the way that you're going to actually brew your coffee is you're going to take that blue plunger and just start pressing down. And you can adjust the strength of your coffee by pressing and then waiting a little bit, and then pressing and then waiting a little bit, and then just continuing to press down until you've pushed all of the water out of the water cylinder right here. Now the great thing about this is it really does apply a lot of pressure to the coffee, which is going to get the best possible flavor out of the coffee. And again, you can take your time as much as you want to when you are brewing right here. When you reach the bottom, you'll essentially aerate that coffee. And now I've brewed a cup of coffee entirely without electricity, essentially. Again, you're going to have to heat your water up somehow. And we had a little joke here in the studio that, well, if you didn't have electricity, what would you do? You'd probably heat that water up over some fire. But in our case, we just used our hot water pitcher. Now, when you're all done brewing, you can just pour this into your cup. And that's just maybe a little bit more than what I got out of my Keurig machine. But you can see that they're about comparable when it comes to just sort of looking at the difference between the two when it comes to the coloration between each one. So really, depending on what it is that you want out of your coffee, you can find some different options between these two. Now, of course, as I say, you can also do a lot of different options making use of the My French Press. You can make tea using that pod adapter. You could just put a tea bag in there and then brew that. You could use a coffee pod as well, of course. And you can brew your own coffee using the ground coffee adapter. Of course, you can also do that on the Keurig B70 using an adapter such as the Echo Brew. And you do have access, of course, on both of these machines to using tea K-Cups and some of the other K-Cups that are available to you in the K-Cup line. So there are a lot of different ways to be able to get varying and almost the same drinks out of both of these. But I will say that a very cool thing about the My French Press, because we've always said here at Aromacup.com that French press coffee is really some of the best coffee you're ever going to get, but we know that it takes a little bit of time. It can be a little bit messy with coffee grounds and things like that. You get that ease of French press using the My French Press, but you can do it using a K-Cup, which is quite cool. So that's a little side-by-side comparison between both of these machines, both great additions to your own at-home coffee shop. Again, it really depends on what it is that you want to get out of your cup of coffee. Let's talk pricing between these two different machines, because it is quite different, as you would probably expect. With the My French Press by Cafeo, you're looking at about $39 at the making of this video. So that's a pretty good price to be able to get a nice cup of coffee. But, of course, you're going to have to do this pretty much manually. You don't have the automatic option that you get with a Keurig B70. Now, the Keurig B70 prices out at about $200. So, big difference between these two. Both of them can use K-Cups. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. If you like the ease of a K-Cup, if you like the flavors of the coffee that they come in and how easy it is to just simply make use of one, the My French Press is a great way to go, and it's rather inexpensive for being able to jump into the world of single-serve coffee. But if you want to go all the way and you want the quick, easy ability to just make a cup of coffee or tea, drop a K-Cup in, hit brew, walk away, come back to a cup of coffee, you want to check out a Keurig machine such as the B70. So that's the major difference, is going to be ease. When it comes to getting the beverage type that you're really looking for, like I say, you can dial it in just a little bit more using the My French Press. You can, of course, dial in the flavor of your coffee over here on the B70 if you brew a smaller cup and do a K-Cup, various things like that. But, again, it's a little more automated, so you don't have as much control. So there you go, guys. That's a quick overview between both of these machines. I really like both of them. I found that the My French Press makes a great cup of coffee. There's one thing I should mention. My French Press, I think, works best with K-Cups. I've used it with pods and I've used it with ground coffee, and it seems to brew a little too quickly. I usually find that I have to redo that brew in order to get a nice strong cup of coffee. With a K-Cup, it comes out great. But over here on the B70, I've found every cup to usually be very, very consistent, especially after I've been using the machine for a little while. I've gotten nice and primed and ready to go. So, keeping those things in mind, I hope this has been useful to you guys. Please join us at Aromacup.com. Join our forums, talk with other coffee lovers, check out our videos, find coupons and reviews on everything in the world of coffee. We'll help you to demystify the world of coffee, because that's what we do best here at Aromacup.com. As always, guys, I'm Brian. Thanks for joining me here in my virtual coffee shop, and I'll see you guys next time, and enjoy your cup. Take care.